Hello, America, and curling fans from Canada and Newfoundland. This is your host, Ryan Olson, bringing you the latest draw from the 2025 Mixed Fours Playdowns, part of the 2025 DoubleTakeout.com MoPac Championships presented by Curling.gg. We have a contest featuring Team Barajas, that's whose rock we're seeing, against Team Pomeroy. It looks like she's going to make the hit there. Mission accomplished. So Team Barajas is throwing the yellow rocks, and Team Pomeroy is throwing the yellow rocks. Team Pomeroy had the hammer, or does have the hammer in this first end, by being closer to the center of the house for the last stone draw. Yeah, it looks like they put up a corner guard there. Looks like Team Barajas is going to draw and put up a guard or something in front of the house. A lot of out turns early in this game. It is going to be a draw or a front rock. Looks pretty well executed. So we're to second stones. The Pomeroy rink hails from the Oval Curling Club out of Salt Lake City, Utah. They're my home club. And I've definitely curled with most of these players before, but I will do my best to be your humble and ever impartial host, commentator, as the hit was made by David Hurst. And it looks like they're trading hits back and forth as Eric Chiarella Jensen delivers his next shot. Going for another takeout. This is hanging out, but it looks like it's going to come back in time. And indeed it does. 4 sheets in action this draw. We have 2 sheets that we're broadcasting. This is the feature sheet with commentary on the MoPac YouTube channel. Definitely appreciate you guys tuning in. If you might be interested in seeing what might be happening on sheet C, that stream is being hosted on the Coyote Curling Club YouTube channel, as that game features Team Hazard from Wine Country and Lake Tahoe Epic facing Team Walsh from Coyotes. Sorry, Team Walsh is from San Francisco. My apologies. Looks like this hit is going to be executed. Another good hit from David there. In-turn rotation. And the Pomeroy shot stuck around. As we see the next rock coming for Barajas, that's going to be Kate Garfinkel. Throwing some weight at the stone. I think hoping to chip out the shot stone. And it does. Good shot there. Net struck coming from the Oval's Kara Unflet. Hoping to hit and roll. That's really, the last two shots from both players have really opened up the house. It's also early in the game, so a lot of teams play the first end pretty fast as they're getting used to the ice. Teams did have 8 minutes of practice before the start of this game, but sometimes it's not enough. So this is a draw. It looks like it's a little offline. I don't know if it's... The weight was good. I was going to wonder if it was too deep, but the line was a little off, and the weight was just a smidge heavy, but it's pretty close to perfect. It is open though, and so it looks like Ken wants Kara to take it on, just based on where the broom is. There's a risk of jamming. David Hurst is really sweeping it, I think, hoping to hold on. If it crosses the face, it's not too bad. You don't want it to jam on the red in the back. And this is more almost like a tap back. And it does tap back successfully, but I don't think enough to push it to third shot. So Kate Garfinkel has the broom down for the skip of the team, Jesus Barajas. I think just looking to chip out that red and stick around. Ideally, it might roll a little bit to the left, but you don't want to jam. So I think just the nose hits, or even like rolling to the right would be not too shabby. It's inside. It does cross the face and will stick. It does get the red out without jamming, so it was a good shot from Barajas. So now we have Team Pomeroy. I'm on mute. This game is also brought to you by Endgame Curling, a proprietor of fine curling equipment, including the travel broom, which collapses into pieces that can fit into a travel suitcase. Available at endgamecurling.com. So, for me, good news, bad news. I've been sneezing. I didn't want it on microphone, so hopefully you didn't get it on microphone. But you didn't get my commentary either, so it could be a win-win depending on who you ask. So Christina Lugo is about to throw her first, as Pomeroy got that single point in the first end. And then for Pomeroy, Ali Sticka's first shot was a tight guard. And looks like this might slip into the range. It does, and so Pomeroy is going to not waste any time in taking that out. As we see the next rock coming from Sticka. Now looks like the hit's going to be made. The shooter's going to just kind of hang out on the outside there. But another soft weight takeout. As I mentioned at the start of, well, maybe a couple broadcasts ago, you don't need to throw a lot of heat to have effective takeouts. So I think for Barajas, he's asking Lugo to maybe drop around or put up a guard. This is ideally a come-around shot, but it chips off of the guard and rolls towards the center. It is exposed. As we see David Hurst's first rock coming down the way. Going for a takeout with the in-turn clockwise rotation. Shots made, hit and stick. So nose hit there. As we see Eric Chiarella Jensen's first. Going for a hit, very similar to David's first. Looks close as I switch the view so you can see it. Hit and roll. Pokes out the other side on the tee line. So it moves things around, and Pomeroy wants to take it on. Another in-turn takeout attempt. By the way, we're playing 8 end games here, although teams can choose to resign early if they feel the game is out of hand. This one over curled a bit, or not quite the right line. Chips the red in for second shot, so not a bad outcome. Next rock coming from Eric. Look for a draw here. Maybe just a little on the light side. Not a bad place for it to end up. So Pomeroy wants another crack at the takeout. Asking Kara to take it on. This looks pretty close. Needs to curl over as Ali is trying to coach it over. Has the weight to push the yellow out. But the shooter also rolls out of the house. Remains in play on the side of the shoot. So as we have Kate's set in the hat. I think looking to raise the yellow into the house. This is over curling. It might be close though, and indeed it's really a good outcome there for Garfinkel. The tap back is made, pushes the yellow to the back 8, and good 4 shots. So people who might be new to the sport, when there's a curling delivery, there's a lot of elements in play, and thankfully it's as easy as A, B, C to keep in mind. So as you watch the person throwing the puck, Kara's not happy with that. You watch for the aim or alignment of the curler in the rock. You see the balance of the curler as they push out of the hack. And then C, curl the rotation to put on the rock as it goes down the ice. So this is actually pretty good. Going to wick off of the yellow and kind of roll wide. But not a bad shot there. She really wanted to draw on top though, and not be exposed on that open side. So I'm going to watch curling delivery, keep an eye on A, B, C. Alignment, balance, and curl. So sweeping for a takeout with Kate's last. Looks pretty close. And it's on the money. With a little bit of roll to the left on top of the shot stone. Now they're sitting 2 for Barajas. So Pomeroy is looking to see what he can do to update the dynamics of the based on where Sticka has the broom, I think he just wants to draw on top, which seems like a good call. He can maybe throw like a super thin double attempt, but I don't know if both rocks would go out of the house. So I think draw weight we're looking for. The in-turn clockwise rotation of the rock. David's really sweeping it to hold the line. And it kisses the front yellow and spins to the right. And it's not gonna, it might hang on to the very back, but it doesn't. It does open it up, so not a bad outcome there. Just as a quick reminder, as Jesus Barajas makes his way down the ice, that all of the games, for keeping track of the scores at bondspieler.com. It's short for Bond, Good, and Spieler, someone who likes to talk a lot, so good talking. Actually, I could look up the meaning of Bond Spieler, but good play. The War Room's correcting me. Jokes are funner when they are corrected promptly by other people and stuff. So it means good play in German. So bondspieler.com. It's looking to draw to the top 8. With another intern rotation draw here. Hoping for a front rock, a front stone. And it looks pretty good, actually. So Pomeroy has a couple options. They're not great. He could try to throw a missile and maybe get 2, hopefully all 3 of the yellows moving. The other possibility is to draw, although that might be a matter of personal preference. There's also a lot of different ways you could miss with a draw. So it looks like he's going to throw some high heat, which can be a tricky shot, but also sometimes it's what people are comfortable with. If he makes this shot, it's going to be maybe one of the shots of the day. If he misses, Steady has the broom down. Also, it's going to be very important to look for line. I don't want it to over curl, otherwise he's going to maybe just get the 1 yellow and then give Barajas a chance for 3 or 4. So Hurst is sweeping all the line. It's pretty close. It needs to maybe curl up just a little bit more. Oh, it's pretty good. Gets 1 moving. So, but the shooter sits around. So they're looking to see if if hitting it might be, or they're looking to see if it's second shot. Looking at the overhead, oh, it's so hard to tell. I've said before that the camera doesn't tell the whole story, and that's certainly the case here as Sticker comes out to look. Looks like they're just opting to draw. I guess also the potential downside with the draw, there's backing, which is good. But if they overuse the backing, they're probably going to lose the yellow in the back, and that might not make or it might make trying to figure out which is closer, the red or the yellow, a moot case. This is the last shot for Jesus Barajas, second end. A draw for 2 or maybe 3. Looks pretty good. The weight's a little bit up, so they might use that backing. Stick is ready to jump on it. And it does push that yellow back ever so slightly. That might be the difference between 2 and 3. So they're taking a look at it. Might be a measure. They took the stone, so I guess we'll see what the score was. But that was a good end from Barajas. I guess we'll see what score they put up when we come back to the 2025 doubletakeout.com MoPac Championships presented by curling.gg. So while they're taking their minute pause, let's take a look around the rings with the scores posted to bondspieler.com, which I have been told repeatedly is German for good play. So Matzi, Matzi continued a trend that they started in their very first game. They put up a 6 spot in the first game and had to hold on for to win in the extra end. Today, or this draw, they scored 5 in the first end with a hammer and are currently at 5-1 over Team Fry of Wine Country. As you see, Christina's first shot here, doing a guard, it looks like. Sheet B is our feature sheet, Team Pomeroy versus Barajas. No score posted yet for the second end. It was either 2 or 3. And so Barajas does have a lead, either 2 or 3 to 1. And then for Sheet C, Sheet C is our Coyotes Club Stream game, available on the Coyotes Curling Club YouTube channel. And that game is a contest between Team Hazard from Lake Tahoe and Wine Country, taking on Team Walsh from San Francisco. And Allie's draw around that center guard looks really good. And so on Sheet C, Team Walsh put up 6 points in the first end. A steal, actually, and then Hazard put up 2 in the second end. And then on Sheet D, the contest between Team LeClaire Coyotes and Team Duncan of Coyotes, the 1-all in the third end. So scores are being posted to bondspieler.com. If you'd like to keep track of that and the schedule of the events, it's all at bondspieler.com. Barajas did a pretty good draw there with Christina's second shot. Ali is draw round again. He's hoping that it's going to settle on top of the yellow in the house. It turns into a guard. So it looks like Barajas wants Eric to draw into the pile, perhaps. Going with the out-turn rotation. Weight looks pretty good. And Pomeroy could just throw into the the crotch of those two yellows. He's asking for hat weight from David Hurst. And by the way, they did mark on the scoreboard. It was 2 for Barajas in that second end. Kind of hanging out. The weight's close. It's probably going to get one of the yellows. Oh, and it jammed on the red. The yellow jammed on the red and rolled towards the edge of the forefoot. So not necessarily the best outcome for David's shots. Eric's second shot's away. I think hoping to take out that red on the right, and it looks like mission accomplished, a nose hit. And just like that, Barajas is sitting 3. So Pomeroy is looking for control weights. Not a lot of eyes. Gonna hit and roll. Opens up the shot rock. So definitely not a bad outcome again. As as Kate Garfinkel gets set to deliver. Looking to draw in, it appears. And looks like a pretty good draw. It's partly buried. It's visible, and also Pomeroy could try to take a double on. The benefit would be to take out 2 of the yellow counters and hopefully be a sitting shot. Seems to be what he's asking Kara to do with her shots. Looks pretty close. Needs to come over just a little bit more as Hurst is sweeping it. Gets one yellow to go away and taps the other yellow back to the 8-foot. So again, a pretty good outcome there from Flip. Partly buried. And any takeout would run the risk of jamming on the back yellow. As we see the next shot coming from Kate. I think it's going to be a draw. Probably tap that red back, but also helping to narrow the playing area. Really swings in at the very last stretch there. And does have the red back just ever so slightly. Pretty good shot, and it's not going to be easy for Pomeroy to get that red out for a multiple point score. So I think he's asking for like a bit more weight. Run the yellow onto red at a sufficient angle to pop the red out without jamming on the back yellow. It's over curling though. Also, I don't think the weight was there for what I was thinking they would do. The situation's looking pretty good for Barajas, as Pomeroy's shot, but there's a decent number of yellow Barajas rots around. So Barajas could force Pomeroy to a single point, and that looks to be a pretty good situation. That's, I think, what they're doing, putting up a guard, perhaps. Weight's maybe a little higher than a guard. I think they still want to tap out that red. The weight's not there for a big tap back. I got 13.18. So it just taps the yellow enough to park it right on the button. And now the question is, who shot? And I'm going to say it looks kind of yellow from the overhead camera. One of the people in the war room was talking about another game where there could be a shot for 7. I've never seen an 8-hander. If there's ever an 8-hander, I'm moving the cameras. Is that C or D? Oh, it's A? Interesting. And we got ourselves a pretty interesting situation here on sheet B, the game between Team Pomeroy and Team Barajas. Looks like they're going to try and draw and maybe move those yellows around. It's a very tricky situation for Pomeroy. He's talking it over with his sweepers. Curious about what weight he's going to throw at it. Looks like a board to control is my guess. It's almost the same way that Barajas threw. Interesting. So it was enough to tap the yellow back onto the red. So yellow is clearly shot now. But Pomeroy created enough separation that if he has a chance, he might be able to just pop those 2 yellows out, or at least pop one of the yellows out for 2 points, perhaps. So Barajas is talking over with Garfinkel. I think they're looking to throw a pretty simple shot to their first. And if it ends up a guard, that's all better. As they get to do a measure on sheet A. And Jesus Barajas' shot is away. I think just looking to draw into the pile or guard. The weight's a little up for a guard. And it's kind of hanging out. Let's see where it ends up. It moves the red around. Oh, goodness. So it looks like it crashed on the red and rolled to the top of the forefoot. As you can see from this view. So there's a pretty lonely reds there. But I think the possibility of Ken shooting for 2 is there. If I were to give it odds, I'd maybe say like 1 in 75. It's not going to be an easy shot because basically he wants to slap the side of the yellow onto the red, onto the yellow, and get the inside yellow moving to the right. And that's how Pomeroy would score 2. I guess one of the positive things is I don't really see how Pomeroy could easily give up multiple points, but the Rock might have a different story. So it made enough contact on the yellow to get the yellow moving, but not that chain reaction that I was thinking that he needed. So Pomeroy had a chance and ended up giving up 1 there. Still not a bad outcome. So it's now 1-3 in favor of Barajas. As we'll take a quick pause in the action. We'll be right back. 2025 DoubleTakeout.com MoPac Championships presented by Curling.gg. Welcome back to the mixed fours playdowns, coming to you live from Coyotes Curling Club in Tempe, Arizona. As we see Christina throw her first rock into the rings. And Pomeroy had a choice to ignore it or to take it on. He's asking at least to take it on, I believe. We call it the curling biz an aha shot because you take me on. And we also turn it into pencil sketches during the game. So that takeout was successful. And that also was a good takeout there from Christina. For a corner guard there from Sticka's second shots. And this end of play is brought to you by curling.gg. For stips and curlers who love it, game, curling.gg is your ultimate practice tool. It's easy and all about strategy. At curling.gg, users can test their skills. Right, meow. So we have Eric Chirilla Jensen's shot looking to put up a guard. And that's pretty well executed. That is on the center line. Just as a reminder, we are playing the relatively new no-tick rule, which means for the first 5 rocks of an end, an opposing team may not dislodge a center line guard off the center line. That includes pushing it into the house. If it goes off the center line, the non-offending team has a choice to either remove the offending stone and reset the original stone, or let the rocks stay where they played out. Still a relatively new rule. It's been part of the world competition level for almost 2 years. It looks like Hurst drew to the 4 foot, a bit wide, so it's just kind of partly exposed there on the left side. As Eric is set for his net shot, looks to be a takeout. And it's past the guard. It does chip off the shot stone and gets rid of the red. So now Barajas is sitting 2 with the shot stone buried under the center guard. So I was going to suggest peeling the guard, and that is what Pomeroy has done. He has the broom there for a peel for David's second rock here. And does get the yellow guard out of the way, and the shooter rolls clear to the right. I would give that 4 points if you're scoring at home. So Kate has been looking to draw, I think maybe replace the guard or settle in the front of the house. Jesus wants a guard. Sweepers are just escorting it down. Now they're cleaning a little bit just to have it enter the house slightly offset from the center shot stone. So Pomeroy could try to start hitting, but I think he's opting. He was opting for like a heavy draw. Now he's maybe looking at a hit and roll. So that's the shot call for Kara. And Hurst is trying to push it over a little bit to make some contact. It hits the shot stone instead of the top yellow, and but it hits that such an angle that the shooter rolls wide out of play. So now Barajas is sitting 2, and a pretty open house. So you see Garfinkel's second stone. I think just looking to draw into the house, just give another element for Pomeroy to consider. And it does wick off of the top yellow. And rolls left. So a bit of a tricky situation for Pomeroy and third Kara. Looks like he wants to hit the yellow that's on the left there and roll back towards the center. It's going to hit. It's going to roll slightly, and Hurst tries to coach it back to the middle, but is not entirely successful. But it does get rid of one of the Barajas counting stones. So we're now at the steep stones as Jesus Barajas makes his way down the ice. I think looking to hit out the red shot stone and hopefully stick around, make it hard for Pomeroy to score a single or 2 points. Looks pretty close. It's on the money. And the shooter rolls wide out of play. So curious to see if Pomeroy can manufacture a Stipper's deuce out of this. Or 2, as I'm now calling it. Sticka has the broom down. I think looking to hit and roll on the shot yellow through the port. It's not a small port, it's a decent sized port. So Pomeroy just sets. So it's on the guard, and the shooter's going to roll out of play. So just a bit of a miss there, unfortunately. And, as I mentioned before, we're playing 8-end games, and that includes a 5-minute break after the fourth end for the halftime show. And so for the halftime show, the combined teams of the Los Angeles Rams and the San Francisco 49ers are going to explain to us how they could play an entire football game with no touchdowns. Because I think America deserves an explanation, and we're going to get it during this halftime. Unfortunately, we're not going to have the cameras on at that time, so you have to be here to see it. So Barajas is trying to deliver his last rock here. Sitting 2, and I think just to make it harder for Pomeroy to score 2 here. Or score 1 even. And that looks like a pretty good draw there from Barajas. In the top 4, and so Pomeroy is looking to see, actually it's the full 8, to see how he might be able to score. It looks like the draw would be the easiest because the forefoot's pretty open. I mean, there's a risk of wrecking. Let me show you what I see. But there's no good way to get to those yellows on the right. Hitting the yellow on top doesn't result in being shots. And then getting to the yellow in the back is super tricky. And there's not really a blank possibility either. So just going for a draw for a single point. Here's the Team Pomeroy. Let's rock here in the 4th end. Sweepers are just walking down right now. Just kind of based on Ken's reaction, it might be a little heavy, and it is. It needs to sit down. It's going to sit down in time for, oh, it misses the entire house. It looks like a steal of 3 if I had counted correctly. I can also ask the warm room for their thoughts. I'll be right back. So the warm room says it's 3. Just unfortunate there for Pomeroy. But good for Barajas to take a 6-1 lead over Team Pomeroy. We're going to take a break. We're going to take a smoke break, so I'm going to go check on my brisket. We'll be right back when we continue with the 2025 doubletakeout.com MoPac Championships presented by curling.gg. While our feature sheet is still in their halftime break, by the way, Brock Purdy made me cry with just his heartfelt sincerity about how he was not able to score a touchdown yesterday. So, it was raining, I understand. It's just, it's kind of crazy just to see the scoreline for that game. So to update scores really quickly at our event, the mixed fours coming to you live from Coyotes Curling Club. We actually had handshakes on sheet A at early nights as Team Maxi went up 8-1 over Team Fry of Wine Country. I'm not sure if they finished the fourth end before they said we've had enough. They conceded. So Maxi is 2-0, I believe. And this is a pool play, so depending on how they do the pool. And yes, Maxi did win the first game, so they have one more game to go. The worst they can finish is 2-1. So it looks like they're in a pretty good position to be in the hunt for the playoffs. The second game. Let me ask really quickly. I'll be right back.
We're not playing Souls.
He wants to get out of here, I think. He's done being here. Surprising. Yeah, you guys have long faces.
All right, I was checking out sheet C because Team Walsh has had a pretty strong start to their game. Going up 7-3 over Team Hazard of Wine Country and Tahoe Epic Curling. And then the closest game on the ice right now is sheet D, the battle between Team Leclerc and Duncan, both teams from Coyotes. The difference in the game was a 2-spot put up by Leclerc in the fourth end to take a 3-1 lead. So all those scores are being posted to bondspieler.com. All right, rocks in play. We're getting underway here with the fifth end here. Our feature game tonight between Team Pomeroy of Oval Curling of Utah and Team Barajas of San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. And it looks like Christina was able to put up a guard. As we see the first rock coming from Ali Sticka. And it looks like they were trying to put up a corner guard. Looks like that was made. Looks like Sticka's been pretty consistent through this game. Mostly draws, a couple takeouts, and she made both of her takeouts. As you see the net start coming from Christina. She's been curling for 11 years. And Christina, just like Ali, mostly draws. She had a couple hits, and just like Sticka, she made both of those hits. Just like Christina's second shot, either wrecked on the guard or just slipped into the top of the house. So net start coming from Sticka. Trying to get around that corner guard. It's going to wreck on the corner guard. It's going to crash on the Yellowstone. And kind of roll to the right. It's not a bad outcome. Barajas is kind of talking over what to maybe call for this next shot here. So Eric's shot, looking to, I think, maybe tap back the shot rocking the house. Looks pretty good. Taps that shot stone back to the top four. And looking at his shots, he shot about half draws, half takeouts. And been pretty consistent. As David Hurst makes his way down the ice. Decent amount of weight, I think, looking to tap the yellow and have the yellow go through, perhaps. But just taps the yellow back to the button, it looks like. And we have Eric's second rock coming down. And David's throw mostly hits. So this draw is going to end up at guard. Pretty high guard. Still a good outcome for Team Barajas. This end is being brought to you by Endgame Curling, manufacturer of curling supplies, including a travel broom that collapses into thirds and can be carried. It could be placed in a carry-on bag. Information at endgamecurling.com. As you see, David Hurst throw his second stone, doing a takeout, but it looks like it's going to curl into the guard. And then it whips off of the other red guard and spins into the house. The yellow spins into the house. So just a kind of an unlucky outcome there. As Barajas is sitting 3 again, just like that. Garfinkel makes her way down the ice. ends up kind of being a very tight guard, and so Pomeroy is going to try to start clearing some stuff out. As Kara makes her delivery, again keeping an eye on alignment, balance, and curl. Going to make contact with one of the yellow stones in the house. At least there's some jam action happening in the house, but the result is that one of the yellows goes out of play, and the shooter does too. So right now it's Barajas sitting 1, 3, and 4, I believe. And Garfinkel is going to, I think, perhaps try to raise one of the reds closer to the button. Actually, they don't want the red closer to the button. They're yellow. So it does junk up the front a bit more, so that's a good front rock from Garfinkel. So Pomeroy wants to take it on. Hoping to make something go away with Kara's second rock here. Just one of the yellows to go away. The shooter's also going to roll wide and pass out on the right side.
It was lonely.
So trying to see what Barajas is looking to do here. It would be nice to have a second stone that outcounts the red on the left there. But I think they want to just kind of clog the warts with the guard. And Barajas' first rock to the end is away without the hammer. Turns out to be a centerline guard. Not too bad. So again, Pomeroy's facing some not very good options here with his first. Looking to peel the guard, maybe move two of the stones out of play. Just hopefully have a clean shot for his last. As Pomeroy gets set, looking to peel here. Shots away. into Muslim granite. Going to peel 1 yellow, 2 yellow. But one of the yellows jams on the red of the house and rolls towards the center. Not a lot of weight on that rock. So now Barajas is sitting 3 again. It's going to be hard for Pomeroy to get multiple points or even score it in this end with a hammer. As Barajas' last shot is away. I think just looking to put up a guard, jam up the works. It's going to be a little light. But that's probably the right way to do this because you don't want to jumble up the situation in the house. As Pomeroy is looking to run back the red into the 2 yellows in the forefoot. That is a pretty long run back. But that does seem to be the only real shot that he could have. I don't know if there'd be even that long draw on the left side, right side from this view. Last rock here in the 5th end. Team Pomeroy looking for some magic. Hurst is sweeping, I think, to try to coax it over, perhaps. It's close. It's going to get 1. It's going to roll. Oh, it's ever so slightly. Is it enough? They kicked the yellow. So I guess we'll see how they score it when we come back to the 2025 DoubleTakeout.com MoPac Championships presented by curling.gg. Welcome back to our ongoing coverage. That was a single point for Pomeroy to get a second point on the board. That was a really good shot there. And definitely what he needed to have a chance to stay in the game. Stick through a guard there, not quite a center guard. As Christina Ludo gets set with her first stone. It's going to go into the house. I think be exposed. So Pomeroy could try to do a hit and roll. Looks like he's opting to draw as a Stika gets set to deliver. She's been curling for 4 years. She was on a mixed doubles team with Ken at the Coyotes Curling Club's mixed doubles bonspiel this past May. Finished just outside of the playoffs. This is her first appearance at the mixed fours playdowns. And this is going to get over the line just barely. So another guard there. And she noted she arguably has the cutest dog in the world, a scruffy mutt named Crosby. She's a big Pittsburgh Penguins fan, which would explain the name Crosby. As Christina delivers her second rock. Christina's been curling for 11 years. She was a lead last year at this event. And opting to draw here. Going to tap this shot stone back just a wee bit. And I'm going to roll open. Barely on the left side there from this view. Looks like Ken has his rally cap on. It's kind of interesting the hats that Ken might put on to bolster spirits, as it were. Looking for some takeout weight from David Hurst. That guard is in the way, though. It does tick the guard. Looks like Jesus wants Eric to peel one of the guards, and that's the weight that was called for. Eric's been curling for 26 years, and that peel is made. Yeah. He has experience playing at regional, MoPac, and national events. David's being set for his second stone. He's still a relatively new curler. He's only been on the ice for 3 years. And according to his backstory, he started curling after trying to sign up for bobsledding with the Utah Olympic Legacy Foundation, but they were sold out. So Ken jumps up to help sweep this rock, which ends up in a guard position. I'm not sure if that was the shot. As the next stone comes from Eric here. Again, looking to kind of peel the rock out of the way. Actually ends up on their own. So it looks like Kara's going to draw in. Kara's been curling for 12 years. She was the team champion at the Hive Bonspiel in 2022. That's the Oval Curling Club's spring spiel. And this rock is a little on the light side. But that's what they wanted. They wanted to draw in. That's a pretty good come around. And so it looks like Barajas is going to do the peel again. From Kate Garfinkel. She's participated in several MoPac and Midwest Curling Association mixed events. Was also at the 2022 Women's Club Nationals. Does get some of the ruts moving out of the way. So next rut coming from Kara. Looking to draw, I would presume. So that looks like another guard. So Barajas is looking to make a play on the stones in the house. With Garfinkel's second rock here. Looks pretty good. It might, I was going to say it might trash in the yellow, but it's past the yellow. It ticks out the red. Really good shot there from Kate Garfinkel. So we're to skip stones. And Pomeroy again is kind of chasing as Barajas is sitting 2 in the rings. This end is being brought to you by curling.gg. Curlers start and end each game by wishing the other team good game, or GG. Curling.gg is a site where curlers can recreate curling scenarios and test different outcomes or different scenarios to see what the outcomes might be. Available at curling.gg. So Pomeroy is throwing to try to take out at least one of the yellows. Does get one, and the shooter rolls partially covered. The warm room has gotten pretty crowded. I think as people, like one of the games just ended early, and then the other players are here getting ready for their late games. And also it reminds me I need to take photos of teams before their next game or after this game. So I have work to do. Also literal work to do. But let's see what Team Barajas is going to do with this scenario here. They're sitting shots, but there's a Pomeroy red right in front of it. So you can see that red from this angle. And you can kind of see the yellow next to the feet of Barajas. They did take their time out. So the broom's down, and looks like they're opting to draw, which seems like a pretty good call with the score being what it is. Maybe just tap the yellow back a little bit and make it hard for Pomeroy to get rid of one or both of those yellows. The potential downside is having the shot rod poke out on the other side, on the right there, or the left from this view. As we see Barajas with his first rock here in the sixth end. And out-turn counterclockwise rotation. Looks pretty close. Don't want to hit on the red. It does wick on the red. But no bad happened there. Or nothing bad happened. So now the pendulum swings to Pomeroy. And the question is, how might they be able to sit shot and minimize the potential for Barajas to put up a crooked number. And the double on the left isn't really there because those yellows are too well covered by themselves. And then the west entrance has, I think, a pretty open. All right, so this is Pomeroy's last. Pomeroy has been curling for 10 years, been to multiple events. He knows that he once threw a curling stone so hard he knocked another stone out of the house. And this is a little tight. It looks like it end light. So it looks like it's going to crash on the red guard. And approach the red guard wide left. So now Barajas has a pretty good opportunity for 3. And it looks like they're going to try and hit the red out for that third point. As Barajas makes his way down the ice, talking with Kate all the while. And this is the last rock from Jesus Barajas. He's been a skip for Team Mexico in the Americas Challenge, and they finished third. Let's see what he can do here. Looks like he's going to make the hit. 4-3, and that looks like enough for Team Pomeroy as they do take handshakes. And make the final 9-2 in favor of Team Barajas. And so Pomeroy has 1 game left, and it's going to be tricky for them to stay in the hunt for the playoffs. So our next game is going to be at about 8, so just under 2 hours from now. Our feature game is going to be Unterborn versus Endicott. Endicott being a Coyotes team, and Unterborn a Coyotes OC curling team. And the Coyotes game, streaming game, is going to be Bro versus Raju on Shoot C. Both of those games is going to be on YouTube. Ours is on the MoPac YouTube, and the other game is on the Coyotes YouTube. Just a quick reminder of our sponsors. Our coverage is being presented by doubletakeout.com, as well as curling.gg, and of course endgamecurling.com. And also, before we sign off, just trying to do the disclaimer more that this broadcast is presented by authority of the Mountain Pacific Curling Association and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Mountain Pacific Curling Association. However, if you were to recreate this game a la the puppet show from Sound of Music, we would most likely give you permission. So, on that note, we're going to sign off for now. It looks like the Sheet C game is still going on the Coyotes YouTube page, so feel free to tune in there. But until 8 o'clock tonight, this has been your host Ryan Olson saying so long and good curling. We'll see you at 8.